Hey, it's Tina Forsyth. I help experts turn their IP into certification and licensing programs. And today I have a question for you. Have you planned for the end of your business? This might sound like a bit of a morose or even depressing question to ask, but I'm asking it for a very purposeful reason. You are probably familiar with the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I just grabbed this off my bookshelf. I've had it now for decades. And one of the principles that Stephen Covey talks about in this book is begin with the end in mind. It's actually habit number 2 in the book. How does this apply to us as entrepreneurs, as business owners? Have we been planning for the end of our business? Now, if you're like many of the folks I know, myself included, you may not be thinking this way quite yet, but there's a danger to not doing this. And that danger is, what if we get to the end of our business? And the end meaning either the end of, we no longer want to participate in our business because we want to move on to other things or we want to retire. The end might mean, what if the business shuts down in some fashion? The end might mean, God forbid, we pass away. And what happens to our business? I worked for a business owner who passed away at the young age of 47. And there was upheaval that happened in the business at that time because we didn't plan, because the end wasn't properly planned for. And so, what I don't want to have happen for any of us is we get to a certain stage in our business where we've been working our butt off for years, even for decades. We've poured our heart and soul into this thing. We've made lots of amazing things happen. We might even be making some really good money along the way, providing a great life for ourselves, our families, etc. But then we get to the end, and what if we have nothing to show for that? This is actually part of the reason, part of the driving force for something we did back in January called the Legacy Summit. And the Legacy Summit was an amazing event. We had 16 speakers join us who spoke about all different facets of facets all different facets of some or of legacy, and one of those really being like, how do we make sure we're planning effectively for the end of the business? Now we get to decide what that's going to look like. There's different paths that we can take. We might take the path of, okay, I want to create a business that I can sell. If the end for you, if the end goal is to sell, then there's decisions and things you need to be doing now and very strategically along the way to make sure that your business is saleable when you reach that point. Unfortunately, this feels like a default for a lot of people. And unfortunately, I mean, it's really easy to say, oh, I'll just sell my business. I'll just sell my business. But there's something that will make your business saleable or not. And if you don't prepare properly for that, you might get to the point where I want to sell my business, but I can't because it's not actually a saleable business. So that can be a worthy goal, but of course the things we do now are going to get us there. We might get to the point where, I'm actually a big fan of this option, although I feel like people think it's a negative thing, but you might decide you just want to shut your business down. And this is especially true for service-based businesses. If you're a service provider, even if, whether you're solo or it's you and a team or whatever that might be, you might just, your end plan might literally be, I'm going to shut this business down at a certain point. Not looking to sell it, not looking to pass it on. I just want to shut it down. If that's the end goal for your business, then what are you doing now to ensure that your business is paying you well to the level that you will be able to save and prepare for retirement or moving on to the next thing or whatever that might be? You want to make sure you're getting paid really well and investing really well along the way so that when you get to that end point, you can like confidently shut your business down. Or God forbid, like I mentioned, you pass away or you get incapacitated in some way. What do you want to have happen to your business then, right? If you're not purposeful with that, and I mentioned I worked for someone who they passed away while the business was in full force growth mode, all kinds of things going on. And there was a little bit of estate planning there, but not some really clear estate planning. And it threw, the business into chaos, which frankly, I don't think it's ever recovered from. The business does still exist, I believe, but just based on it turned into infighting. It turned into what should we do here? Who should be in charge of this? Like there was a lot of issues that came up because there essentially was no estate planning. There was no succession planning for that business. And so, why do I mention these things today? You know, it's kind of funny. I'm sitting here from the lens of being a 52-year-old woman now who has been in business for over 25 years. I started my business in 1999. And in the earlier stages, I didn't think about this stuff. I was putting off thinking about it. I didn't think I had to think about it, especially I started my business in my 20s. It's like, I don't need to think about this stuff yet. All through my 30s, nah, I got lots of time. My 40s hit, it was a little like, wait a minute. Okay, like when my 40s hit, it was like, okay, I'm probably not going to want to do this forever. It's all good. By the time my 50s hit, it's like, I know for a fact I don't want to keep working forever, right? I want to have the option. I like working, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to be working at this level forever. I want to have options. I might want to retire. I might want to semi-retire. I might want to whatever down the road. So how do I make sure? How do I build towards that end in mind? And, like anything, like so many things in life, when we plan and we're purposeful with it, then ideally we can get to that. Because what I don't want to have happen for you is for you to work your butt off for your entire life, get to the end, and not have anything to show for it. I mean, that is just, oh, I feel like the ultimate heartbreak for a business owner, especially those of us who pour our heart and soul and everything we have into our business. So food for thought today. I would love to hear from you. Any comments or thoughts that come up for you on this topic? Have you done this planning for yourself already? If so, I would love to hear what your plans are, as much as you feel comfortable sharing them here with this video. And yeah, if you haven't been thinking of this yet, or it's been a while since you've thought of this, consider this a loving little nudge from me today to start to put some thought into this and make sure you're honoring who you are, what you've created, the hard work you've put into everything to serve you for many years to come. All right, take care. I'll see you next time. Bye now.